Okay. Okay, so in a word problem. In a word problem, the most important thing is to decipher what they're saying. Can you draw a picture that goes along with what they're saying? So on this first page, I've given you pictures and I've given you the word problem. I want you to match the word problem to the picture, and then we are going to label the side that we need to find with our variable. So take a look at number 1. It says, how high above the ground is the kite? Okay, that's clear down here at F. So number 1 is F, or F is number 1. I don't care how you want to do it. Okay, the question's asking, how high above the ground is the kite? So what do I need to find? Where does my variable go? On the side.
Oh.
Your hypotenuse is given, silly.
Is what?
Your hypotenuse is given. It's 155.
What a box is?
You should know that's
You should all see no box.
It's right there in the corner.
I don't see no box. Oh, that's where it would be at. Oh, God.
It's perpendicular to the ground, so yes, that would be where your box
I
is.
got it now, yeah.
Number 2 says, how far from the building is the car? You said which one? D. Okay? So D is number 2. What am I actually trying to find? The other leg. Your other leg. Okay? Your other leg. I'm trying to find this. They want to know how far from the building is the car. Not how far am I from standing on top of the building looking down at the car. Okay? Tell me this. This line up here and the line at the ground are parallel. So if this angle is 48, what can I make this angle?
48.
Why?
Because it's alternate.
Alternate interior angles.
Yeah, that.
Good. So that's also 48 degrees. Okay. Good. Number 3. How wide is the river? B. How wide is the river? What am I trying to find?
Your hypotenuse.
Leg.
Your leg. Your angle. Your.
It's another leg.
The other
I
leg.
said leg.
You said all of
Right.
I said leg first.
Stop it, silly.
Second. Something like that.
You said it second, silly. Okay, so you're trying to find that other leg. How wide is my river? How far up will the ladder reach?
E. Definitely E. E.
It's definitely
E. Is an
E.
escalator.
It is E. Okay? What am I trying to find?
You are trying to find the other leg. Are you kidding?
What you mean the other leg? They didn't even give you one of the legs.
The leg.
Which leg?
The one on the bottom.
No, because it's
The one on the side. We're looking for height. We're looking for height.
Right now, it's just not Harley's moment.
No, it's really not Harley's moment right now. Number 5, we're talking about a 90-foot escalator.
C.
C.
Not a ladder, Bobo.
She at least knows the difference between a ladder and an escalator, but she doesn't know the difference between the height and the length.
So first of all, let me answer next one. So 6 is 8,
Okay.
right? So I know we're finding.
What is the angle the elevator makes with the floor?
The leg.
Hold on. Because first off, it says, what is the angle? So while you're telling me leg,
Angle.
which angle though?
The one in the corner.
This one or
No, that
this
one.
one?
The other one. That one. The other one.
This one right here.
Oh, wow.
It says makes with the floor. So the angle at the floor. So it's this angle.
I'm breaking up school. Period. 6 is A.
That means 6 is A.
Let me answer this one. Y'all don't say nothing.
Oh goodness.
It makes it. How long is the mine shaft? We're looking for the legs.
The line.
We're looking for the line.
The leg.
The leg.
A says how long is the mine shaft?
Are we looking for this?
Yeah. No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's how long your mine shaft is.
It's the only one left.
No, not technically. This other side is left.
I'm talking about the 6. Well, we all knew.
Oh,
And
the fact that it was A.
Yeah.
Everybody do that. Shut up.
She's trying to play you.
All right, girl. You ain't answering not a damn one of these. So stay back there. At least
But
I
you ain't
tried.
answering one.
He giggled because I said she's trying to play you.
Because it was the last one.
Okay, I answered the angle right. Stupid. The leg.
Excellent.
Stupid.
Don't call her stupid.
Shut up, stupid.
Okay.
No.
Oh my goodness. All right. Three, 4, 5 word problems to do with you.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Oh.
5. This one, the angle of elevation, the angle of depression, and then the 3 on that, or the 2 on the application line. So you are going to have to draw a picture. Your picture should create a triangle. So it says a guy wire is attached to a 100-foot tower that is perpendicular to the ground.
I can see a girl on her.
It's called.
Oh
Oh my goodness. Am I sexist now because it's a guy wire?
Yeah.
Okay. Fantastic. The wire makes an angle of 55 degrees with the ground. What is the length of the wire? What's the first thing you all want to draw here?
Straight line up.
Straight line up. What's that? Okay. This is my tower. So I'm going to make it look kind of like a tower, I guess. There we go. Look, I'm even putting windows.
Oh, snap.
Oh, snap. Better put a door so they can go in, right?
No,
The door could be on the other side.
they can walk through the window.
Okay, so there's my 100-foot tower.
My window is bootlegged for real. What kind of?
Okay, it's perpendicular. Stop. It's perpendicular to the ground. So that means my right angle is here. Bless you.
How is it down there again? Oh, never mind. I see
It says it's perpendicular to the ground. Perpendicular means it creates a 90-degree angle. Okay. So we've got this wire that's attached to the tower. Well, we're talking triangles, so that means my wire goes from the top of the tower down to the ground. Look, there's my right triangle. Okay. What else do I know that I can fit into this picture?
Why are they 55-degree angle?
55-degree angle. Where does it go? The top angle or the bottom? The bottom. It goes to the bottom. It says 55 with the ground. They want to know what is the length of the wire.
So you're looking for your hypothesis. Y'all know what I was talking about.
You're looking for your hypothesis. I mean hypotenuse. Okay? So, once you have your picture, we actually go to solve. We need to first label our sides, just like this was a regular triangle. So, here is my reference angle. Let's label our sides.
Hypotenuse and adjacent.
Hypotenuse
And
and
opposite.
opposite.
That's what I meant.
So is it cos?
Opposite.
It's sin.
It's sine. S-O-H. So we're using so. Okay. So that means we're doing sine. We're in step 2 now. Sine of my angle, which is 55 degrees, equals
100 over X.
100 over x. So when I go to solve for x, do I multiply
Divide.
or do I divide? We divide.
If negative 100,
100 divided by sine of 55. Please make sure that your calculator is in degree mode. You should never end up with a negative number. If you end up with a negative anything, you did something wrong. You either mixed up your numbers, what goes on top and the variable on the bottom, or it is not in degree mode.
it's 122.1.
Did Mr. Butts want to calculate that?
No.
Now, Mr. Butts.
122, it says nearest hundredth. So 2 after the decimal.
0.08. Let me answer something and get it right.
Answer all of them.
Right, and got him wrong.
Don't answer me right.
Oh, I lied. I have 6 examples. My bad. Okay, answer me this. Does this make sense?
Yep.
Yes.
Why?
Because it
It's
just
bigger
got
than
it.
the.
Yeah, so
It's the longest side.
It should be your longest side. It's your hypotenuse. So it's longer than how tall your tower is. So it makes sense. Okay? If you would have gotten an answer like 86, something went wrong. Okay? All right, number 2. We've got a jet airplane that's climbing up 15 degrees and flies for 2 miles. What is the change in altitude in feet? Whew! All right. So we got this little airplane. Don't make fun of my airplane. Here we go.
A circle.
Shh. Leave my airplane alone.
Now, this
Well,
This is just a dump in the hole.
You did great, Miss Smith.
Thanks. And your airplane is going up into the air.
Like me. I'm going home.
Okay, so let's create our triangle. We know we got to have a triangle, so here we go. There's your triangle. So Travaria says 15 goes at my bottom angle.
2 goes on the very bottom, doesn't it? For 2 miles?
It's flying for 2 miles.
So the dotted line is 2. The hypotenuse.
Your hypotenuse is 2 miles. It's the path of the plane. Okay, it's the path of the plane. They want to know, what is the change in altitude? That's your height. Altitude means height. So I'm actually trying to find this. So let's label our sides.
So you got a hypotenuse.
I got the hypotenuse
And
and opposite. We're back to sine of 15. This time,
so we multiply.
x over 2, so we multiply. X equals 2 times the sine of 15.
It is
Why would you
point
multiply it?
5.58.
0.58,
Wait, 2. 5.2.
52.
Miss Smith,
Yes, ma'am.
can you send Zakiya to the office? She's leaving.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Do it on the road. Can you go over how we
Shut up.
divided
Get
it?
up.
Huh?
I said, can you repeat how we divided it?
Sure. So, when I cross multiply, this is 2 times the sine of 15. Okay? But when I cross multiplied here, sorry, I had to do a switch around Tay. When I cross multiply here, I'm multiplying my variable times the sine of 55, which means to get my variable by itself, I would eventually have to divide them. So anytime your variable's on the bottom, it's division. Anytime your variable's on the top, it's multiplication. Okay, answer me this. Am I done?
No, no.
Why?
Because you're close.
Nope.
Feet.
It says
Oh, feet. That's
feet. What am I in? Miles.
How many feet?
How many feet are in a mile? Somebody ask Siri if you don't.
How many feet are in a mile? How many feet are in a mile?
The answer is.
I thought it was 2,000.
Okay, so Robert and Siri is tripping, so.
Hey, Siri. How many feet? Hey, Siri.
I have a bird, guys.
What's the question?
Okay, there are 5,280 feet in a mile. 5,280 feet equals 1 mile. I do believe if they would give you a problem like this, that they would actually tell you that. Okay, so, good. He just said we would multiply to get the answer. So 0.52 times 5,280. 2705. 0.74.
No, 2,745.
Oh, sorry, 45. My bad. Okay, 0.6. And now we're in feet. So please be careful. Yes.
How would you know that you're 15 degrees when you're
Because it's climbing 15 degrees. So you're starting at the bottom and you're climbing up.
We were already supposed to round it 52 and then multiply, or shouldn't you have just kept it normal? Because my answer is this.
You kept the 0.5 whatever and multiplied.
I already knew how many miles were in it.
So you just took the answer you got and multiplied. That's a good question. I would have probably done it your way because it's more accurate.
Wait, what do you do?
So instead of rounding it right away to 0.52, he kept the answer that you got and just multiplied by 5,280. So that actually gave him a different answer. What was your answer, Alberto?
2,733.13.
That's a big change. Wow. I would have personally done it Alberto's way. Okay. You want your answers as accurate as possible. Okay. And that is a big difference. Wow.
What changed?
He didn't round the 0.52. When you got that answer and it was like 0.5 blah 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 blah, he just took that and multiplied it by the 5,280.
I feel like it would tell you around that test anyway. Like,
It would probably want you to keep that number, multiply, and then round. Okay.
Everybody gonna have both answers first there.
No,
They wouldn't. Oh, good.
They can't do that. That's awful.
Do you not know the people? They're awful.
You know what it takes, like,
They don't care. Alright, they want us to fail. Shoot.
That's awful.
Now I say you good teacher or not.
All right.
You're not.
Woo. Okay. Angle of elevation. When I'm talking angle of elevation, what do you think that means?
That angle at something is elevated.
The angle that's elevating. So the angle that starts at the ground and goes up. Your angle of elevation is always the bottom angle of your triangle. Okay? So anytime they say, find me the angle of elevation, That's what you're looking for, that bottom angle, where we put the 15 for the plane, where we put the 55 with the building.
So it would be
That's
our
your
reference.
angle of elevation.
So it would be our reference.
Okay, yes. Okay, so right now, Jason is 4 feet away from the base of a tree, hosting a beehive. There's a little beehive up in the tree. Okay. If the angle of elevation between Jason and the hive is 76 degrees, how high up is the hive in the tree? So my tree is going to be one of my legs of my triangle. Well, I better switch to a different color because that really didn't show. Okay, so this is the height. Here's your other leg, how far away Jason is. And your hypotenuse is the site of Jason looking up to the beehive. Okay, so it's the line of sight from Jason's eyeballs to the beehive. So here's my right angle. Jason is 4 feet away. Where does that go? The bottom. That's my bottom. And then it says your angle of elevation is 76 degrees.
It's gonna be at the top.
The side where it's going up.
Where it's going up here. Okay. So this is why we teach you the words angle of elevation, because sometimes they'll just use it and that's, you've got to figure out where does it go. Okay. So 76 degrees. How high up is the tree? What am I actually looking for?
The height of the tree.
The height of the tree, which is my other leg. So I'm looking for this. Okay. So what do we got?
So it is
Adjacent
and opposite.
And opposite.
So it's
Tangent.
Oh.
This is TOA. You got O and A. So tangent of my angle equals
X over 4.
X/4. So that tells me to get my answer, we need to
Multiply.
multiply.
You just don't understand. It is 16.0.
4.
0.
16.0.
So fast.
That's fine. It doesn't say so. And what are we in? Feet. Your tree is 16 feet tall. It's really not a tall tree. Or actually, your tree's not 16 feet tall. That's how high the beehive is in your tree. It's really not that tall.
Look at him. He look like he's gonna get stoned. He's gonna go cry to his mama.
Might be a little taller than this one.
Is that how tall it is?
I'm tall. I'm very
In
tall.
the tree, or how tall it is from the side? Who
This
said
is
that?
probably like
Me.
That's like you saying I'm tall. You
Girl,
real
I'm tall. I am tall.
What's 4 feet?
You like 2.
Holly, you're only a centimeter above me.
I'm tall.
Barely. I think I'm 5
Yeah,
feet.
twice.
That would only be, this is twice. So we'd need another 2, 3.
Yeah, you're definitely saying 11.
What's
I guess it's taller than I was imagining it.
It's like 11 feet.
Yeah.
It's still-
Probably.
That's
not tall
Yeah,
tree though.
yeah.
Yeah, it's really not, but it's taller than I was picturing it at this point.
I think I'm 5 feet. How far it is.
That's like kind of-
In a half tree, or how far it is from his side.
It's up in the tree.
Period.
I went to the doctor and they said I haven't grown at all.
Okay?
They said, you lying.
This one.
Shut up.
This one. Angle of depression. Elevation, we're lifting up. If we're depressed, we're going down. So this is actually from a ceiling point down. So when I draw this picture, I need a ceiling that goes out to the boat. about it this way. If I draw a ceiling and a floor, these lines are parallel. So if I bring down this, and this angle should match.
That angle.
So guess what? Your angle of depression and your angle of elevation
Are the same.
is the same thing. Period. Okay. So technically you could draw it any way you want. Your angle of depression and your angle of elevation are technically the same thing. Okay. So it says the light in a lighthouse is 150 feet taller than the boat. Where does that go on my triangle?
No,
No, the side.
Taller, that's your side. We're talking height. Okay. So even though it's on this side, that side matches the height of my tower. Okay. It says the angle of depression between the light and the boat is 63 degrees. Okay. They want to know how far away is the boat
That's the
from the
hypotenuse.
lighthouse.
Hypotenuse.
That's
All the top right and top right. Hypotenuse.
That's my other leg.
Oh, yeah. Because it's.
Okay. The hypotenuse would be, no, it wouldn't be how far you travel. It would be, yeah, it would be like line of sight or something that they would use. Now, because your angle of depression is the same as your angle of elevation, I could have also drawn this triangle like this.
Yeah, because if you just flip that upside down, it's like that.
If you just twist it around, it's like that. Okay, all it is a rotation. Okay, so I can rotate this and make my triangle look like that. Okay, again, I don't care either way. All right, so now what sides do I have? Adjacent and opposite again. Oh, we're back to tangent. Tangent of 63. 150 over x. So we divide this time.
It is 76.4. Thank you. Catch it up.
And this is in feet. Does my answer make sense?
Here.
Yes.
Yeah, it can be smaller than the number they gave me. I'm only looking at a leg. I'm not looking at the hypotenuse. If I was looking for the hypotenuse, would this have been correct? No, it had to be bigger than 150. Yes.
When they say width, what side are they talking about? Is that the hypotenuse? Is that the other
No, width would be
one?
like straight across.
Then I'll be talking about that bottom one.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now we got to talk about an owl in a tree with a mouse.
What did you say?
Okay. So it says the owl is 14 feet up in the tree. The angle of elevation between the mouse and the owl is 65 degrees. How far away is the mouse from the base of the tree? Elevation. So it's from the floor up. Okay, so it's a regular triangle.
My triangle is all messed up.
All kinds of messed up.
Yeah, that's why I tickled his neck.
How are you tickle?
Listen. We don't know. Okay. They tell us that the owl's 14 feet up in the tree. Where's that go?
On the side.
That's your side. We need to find how far is the mouse from the base of the tree? The bottom leg. So guess what?
Opposite and adjacent.
Tangent again. Tangent of 65 equals
14 over X.
14 over X. So we divide.
So you said, hey, nobody say it. I'm doing it, okay?
Somebody say it.
6.5.
It is 6.5. Allie, get out. Go back to your seat.
I just still said it.
Lord.
Lord is right.
Whoa.
Miss Smith,
Yes.
I love you.
I love you too.
What did you change that from?
I'm moving today.
Johnny?
I'm moving to Thomasville if you guys care. Say.
So are you?
Yes. And I'm here next week. But yeah, I'm not switching.
Oh,
I'm not switching.
Say it.
Good. I'm doing good.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just kidding. I'm just gonna,
Okay.
Don't leave that too far.
If the diagonal distance between the owl and the mouse is 13 feet and the angle of depression between the mouse and the owl is 82 degrees, how high up is the owl? So technically what they're telling us, because we have angle of depression, is that I have a ceiling this time. So that flips my triangle this way.
Does it matter how we write it? Like, legit? No? Okay.
Oh, she's back.
Why did you come
That's
back?
big. That's real big.
I said that I needed to learn this, but I wanted some McDonald's.
Aww, she came back just for my class.
No, she came back up. Never mind. Oh, good.
Okay, so 82 degrees is from the ceiling down. Where does 13 go?
On the end.
The hypotenuse. It says diagonal distance. So that's your hypotenuse. Yes. Then they said, how high up is the owl?
The edge, the side. the leg.
This side leg.
So it's A and O. So it's adjacent and
H.
Miss Smith.
Hypotenuse and opposite.
I'm gonna pull my brains out. So it's
You're
like
She's going to pull her brains out.
You're lying.
You said.
Adjacent.
Right.
I was playing.
No, Kinley.
So, sine of 82 equals
12.87.
x over 13.
Oh, 12.9.
So we multiply.
12.9.
She's really gung-ho about making sure she gets this answer.
Because they got the job.
No, this got the job. Trying to figure out saying.
Okay. Does this answer make sense?
Yeah.
Yes. My hypotenuse should be the biggest. Well, 13 is still the biggest.
By like.
By 0.1, but it's still bigger.
That's what I did.
That's okay. Questions? Problems?
No.
You ready to practice?
Yep. Let's do this.
Let's do it.